In today's video, we'll explore 5 powerful teachings from the book of Job, one of the most profound and inspiring books in the Bible. Job is a biblical figure known for his extraordinary faith and resilience in the face of adversity. Through their experiences, we can learn valuable lessons about faith, patience, suffering, and humility. Our first teaching in the book of Job is the unwavering faith of this biblical character. Job faced unimaginable losses. He lost his possessions, his health, and even his children. However, amid all this pain and suffering, Job never abandoned his faith in God. He declared, "Naked I have come out of my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, the Lord took, praised be the name of the Lord." Job chapter 1 verse 21. This attitude shows a deep trust and an acceptance of divine control over all things. Job's faith teaches us that even when we face the greatest adversity, we must maintain our trust in God. It is easy to have faith when all is well, but the true proof of faith comes during the storms of life. Job shows us that faith is not just a passive belief, but an active force that sustains us in the most difficult moments. He inspires us to trust God unconditionally, knowing that He is in control, even when we do not understand why our difficulties. Therefore, as we reflect on the history of Job, we are called to examine our own faith. Are we prepared to maintain our trust in God regardless of the circumstances? May Job's unwavering faith serve as a powerful example for all of us, reminding us that with God at our side we can meet any challenge. The second teaching of the book of Job is about the purpose of suffering. Job questions God repeatedly about the reason for his trials, seeking to understand why a righteous man like him would be facing such disgrace. However, the response he receives reveals a profound truth: we are not always able to understand the divine plans. God answers Job not with detailed explanations, but with a series of questions that highlight the vastness of his wisdom and power, something that is beyond human comprehension. Job chapter 38 verse 41. This dialogue teaches us that suffering can have a greater purpose, which is often hidden from us. Instead of fully understanding the reason for our difficulties, we are called to trust that there is a meaning and a reason that perhaps only God knows. This lesson is an invitation to humility and acceptance that our vision is limited, while that of God is infinite. He can use suffering to shape our character, test our faith, or prepare us for something greater in the future. Thus, in facing our own challenges and pains, we must remember the example of Job. Instead of despair or loss of faith, we can seek peace in the certainty that there is a divine purpose in everything we live. This perspective can provide us with comfort and strength, knowing that even when we don't understand, God is working for our greater good. The third valuable teaching of the book of Job is about the importance of patience. Job faced a series of prolonged and painful tribulations, but his patience remained firm. He did not give up on his faith or question God's purpose, even when everything seemed lost. This quality of patience is exemplary and reminds us that in the midst of adversity it is essential to maintain serenity and wait for God's time. Job's story teaches us that patience is not just a virtue, but a necessity in our spiritual journey. We often want immediate answers and quick solutions to our problems, but that's not always how things work. Patience teaches us to trust in God's time, which is perfect, and to persevere even when the answers are not immediately visible. May we learn from Job to cultivate this virtue so important in our daily lives, knowing that in the end patience is rewarded. The fourth teaching is one of the most powerful teachings extracted from the book of Job is about the reward of faith. Despite all the trials he faced, Job remained faithful to God. And at the end of his journey, God not only restored his blessings, but multiplied them, giving him double what he had before. This shows us that fidelity to God, even in the most difficult moments, is rewarded. Job's story reminds us that no matter how bleak our path may seem, God is always with us, and He is able to turn our losses into gains and our tests into testimonies. Our faith may be shaken by the storms of life, but when we stand firm, we can experience the true magnitude of the reward God has in store for us. The last teaching we can draw from the book of Job is about humility before God. Even when confronted with his own limitations and misunderstanding of the divine plans, Job recognizes the greatness of God and his own smallness. He declares, I know you can do all things. None of your plans can be thwarted. Job 42 verse 2. This attitude of humility teaches us the importance of recognizing that God is sovereign and that our understandings are limited. The story of Job invites us to reflect on our own position before God. We often find ourselves able to understand everything, but Job reminds us that there are mysteries beyond our understanding. As we recognize the greatness of God and our own smallness, we cultivate a humility that allows us to accept the divine designs with faith and trust. May we follow the example of Job, humble before God, confident in His plan, even when we do not fully understand. As we explore the powerful teachings of the book of Job, we are taken on a journey of reflection and spiritual growth. From unwavering faith to humility before God, each teaching challenges us to examine our own lives and deepen our relationship with the divine. Job inspires us to persevere in the midst of adversity, trust in God's plans, and cultivate virtues such as patience and humility. May the lessons we learn from Job not be limited to intellectual knowledge alone, but manifest in our daily actions and transform our lives. May we apply these teachings in our relationships, in our personal struggles, and in our spiritual journey, so that we may grow in maturity and wisdom. May the story of Job continue to guide, inspire, and remind us of the transforming power of faith and trust in God.